Hi, I'm Shaun from Bliss Magazine, and today we're visiting Ryan Moncrief at Ribstone Brewing. So thank you for taking the time to visit with us.
Anytime, Shaun.
Can you tell us a little bit about your brewery and the history?
Well, Ribstone got started as a contract brew through Yellowhead in Edmonton back in the day. Got the beer in the market, got everything up and rolling while they were putting the parts and pieces together here. So after everything was ready, the first brews came out of the building here in early 2013, and everything after that point has come out of this little place here in Edmonton.
Well, we've bumped into each other a lot, so you know how I feel about the beer, but I'm happy we get the chance to share some of the stories in particular behind some of your beers with our readers. So what are we going to try first today?
We're going to try the original Ribstone Creek Lager. It's the beer that got the ball rolling for the company, and honestly, it's a good beer. There's no reason that anybody should shy away from drinking a lager beer. If it's a well-made lager, they're as much a craft beer as any other beer on the market. So it's a true German-style lager beer, and that's the kicker, I think. It's got body, it's got character, it's got flavor. It's not just yellow and fizzy. So I'm not ashamed to say that I've drank my fair share of this lager, and that's before I got working here. So.
I mean, that's a good beer for a hot, Saturday afternoon on a patio. There's no doubt about it. And it's a craft beer. No one can pick on a craft lager.
No, like I said, it's got the character. You pick up those malts and stuff in it. There's some hot flavor. There's a nice balanced bitterness to it.
A little touch of green apple.
Exactly. It's an easy beer to drink, and it's more often than not we find it's a gateway beer for people.
Big time.
They come in looking for a beer like they've drank all their life, right? Say big box macro beer, and we can start them on a lager like that, and it kind of gets them.
Gets out of the idea that craft beer just means bitter.
Exactly. And honestly, we've given beer like that to people, and by the time we run them through a flight, all of a sudden their world is opened up, and they realize beer can be so much more. And maybe they go away loving an IPA, and maybe they don't, but at least they understand why it is the way it is, and it's not just bitter or
There's
hoppy.
a range of flavors.
Exactly.
Which is on to our next one, actually, which is my personal favorite style.
So the next one is Rangeland Pale Ale. A lot of people kind of get tripped up a little bit with the pale ale kind of designation on that beer, and pale definitely doesn't mean color. It's a style, and pale ales can range from really light to something with definitely some color to it. So it's kind of a cross between a British style pale ale with the malts and the character that way, and some North American influence with some hot flavor and some bitterness to go with it.
What are you going for on the hot flavor, citrusy or fruity?
It's a little bit more on the citrus side. It's a traditional, Cascade hop.
Yep.
So nothing too wild and crazy. Cascades have been used all over the world.
Sorry, could we just
Okay, so on to our second beer. It's a personal style that I love.
Rangeland Pale Ale. So it's kind of a cross between a British style pale ale where you get the malts and the character of the beer that way, and a little bit of the North American style or American style with some hot flavor and some bitterness to go with it. So traditional North American kind of citrus.
What are the IBUs on your ale?
It's about 30 IBU. So there's a nice pop of bitterness at the end of that beer. So.
Rangeland Pale Ale.
Cheers.
That's a very tasty beer. Nice balance.
Yeah, like I said, you get that nice little pop of bitterness, and at a 4.2% alcohol, it's a beer that
It's just basically a session.
it is more sessionable. A lot of people ask us when they come in, they look at the board and then they go, "Oh, that must be a light beer." It's like, no, light. We don't use the term light in craft or beer very often. It's a lower alcohol beer or session, and honestly, that just means that if you want to sit around the campfire or maybe have a couple on the golf course, whatever, you're not gonna get rip roaring drunk off 2 or 3 Rangeland Pale Ale while you're sitting around the campfire or while you're golfing.
But you are going to enjoy that.
You're going to enjoy them. You get all the benefits of drinking a full flavored character beer without the alcohol content with it. And those are beers that I like to drink.
I agree, totally agree. And our last one, so we started with the lager and introducing people to less bitter beer, and we're going to end with,
we're going to end with Great White Combine. This is our summer seasonal, a beer that we're really proud of. It's a fun beer to drink. Belgian wit clashes with American IPA, and the baby that it makes is a
really popular style. It's actually kind of turned into its own style rather than being a style mashup nowadays.
True. There's lots more white IPAs out there now in the last few years. So
this is definitely one of my favorite examples of a white IPA. I've had it for the last couple of years, and it's worth the wait.
You get the Belgian character, that spicy phenolic flavor that you get out of a typical Belgian, but you get these big fruity, tasty, hop flavors and aromas in the beer as well.
Hazy beer too.
Yeah, on the hazy side, will clear up over time. In the cans, it'll settle out, and a lot like a can conditioned beer. You get a little bit of sediment in the bottom of the cans, but
that's okay.
Yeah,
stirred up, poured in glass.
There you go.
So you get a nice hint of that clovey flavor from the wit, mixed nicely with those citrus hops, which dulls the clove, which for me is a big plus. Too much clove for me is not.
I agree with you. Certain Belgians, certain hefts, yes, you get that clove and everything in there, and it's if it's out of balance, then it's too much. But that was part of the fun of back when we were working on this beer, was sorting through a few different types of yeast in order to get that balance, that flavor that
I think it's achieved. I really do. It's well balanced for me. I really enjoy it. I've been waiting for this one to come back for a little while.
It's just hitting the market here.
Nice to see.
As we speak.
Well, I really appreciate you taking this time, spending some time with us, and talking about your beers. For all the Bliss readers out there, please look for their beers at your local liquor store. It's well worth it. You will enjoy it, especially this White Combine. It's worth it. From Bliss, we're signing off. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay, so on to our second beer. It's a personal style that I love.
Rangeland Pale Ale. So it's kind of a cross between a British style pale ale, where you get the malts and the character of the beer that way, and a little bit of the North American style or American style with some hop flavor and some bitterness with it. So traditional North American kind of citrus.
What are the IBUs on your ale?
It's about 30 IBU. So there's a nice pop of bitterness at the end of that beer. So.
Rangeland Pale Ale.
Cheers.
That's a very tasty beer. Nice balance.
Yeah, like I said, you get that nice little pop of bitterness, and at a 4.2% alcohol, it's a beer that
It's basically a session.
it is more sessionable. A lot of people ask us when they come in, they look at the board and then they go, "Oh, that must be a light beer." It's like, no, light. We don't use the term light in craft or beer very often. It's a lower alcohol beer or session, and honestly, that just means that if you want to sit around the campfire or maybe have a couple on the golf course, whatever. You're not gonna get rip roaring drunk off 2 or 3
No.
Rangeland Pale Ale while you're sitting around the campfire or while you're golfing.
But you are going to enjoy that.
You're gonna enjoy them. You get all the benefits of drinking a full flavored character beer
Yeah.
without the alcohol content with it.
Very
And
good.
that's those are beers that I like to drink.
I agree, totally agree. And our last one, so we started with the lager and introducing people to less bitter beer, and we're going to end with, well,
We're gonna end with Great White Combine. This is our summer seasonal, a beer that we're really proud of. It's a fun beer to drink. Belgian wit clashes with American IPA, and the baby that it makes is a
really popular style. It's actually kind of turned into its own style rather than being a style mashup nowadays.
true. There's lots more white IPAs out there now in the last few years. So yeah,
This is definitely one of my favorite examples of a white IPA. I've had it for the last couple of years, and
Yeah.
it's worth the wait.
you get the Belgian character, that spicy phenolic flavor that you get out of a typical Belgian, but you get these big fruity, tasty, hop flavors and aromas in the beer as well.
Hazy beer too.
Yeah, on the hazy side, will clear up over time
Yeah.
in the cans. It'll settle out, and a lot like a can conditioned beer.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of sediment in the bottom of the cans, but
That's okay.
yeah,
Stirred up, poured in glass.
there you go.
So you get a nice hint of that clovey flavor from the wit, mixed nicely with those citrus hops, which dulls the clove, which for me is a big plus. Too much clove for me is not.
I agree with you. Certain Belgians, certain hefts, yes, you get that clove and everything in there, and it's if it's out of balance, then it's too much. But that was part of the fun of back when we were working on this beer, was sorting through a few different types of yeast in order to get that balance, that flavor that
I think it's achieved. I really do. It's well balanced for me. I really enjoy it. I've been waiting for this one to come back for a little while.
It's just hitting the market here
Nice to see.
as we speak. So
Well, I really appreciate you taking this time, spending some time with us, and talking about your beers. For all the Bliss readers out there, please look for their beers at your local liquor store. It's well worth it. You will enjoy it, especially this White Combine Year. It's worth it. From Bliss, we're signing off. Thank you very much.
cheers.